There is so much misinformation about how to become a millionaire, it's ridiculous. I mean, somehow having terrible money habits is a recipe to bring in millions. That is complete and total garbage. And the truth is, unless you're a wannabe influencer and trying to make millions by tricking others into thinking you already have millions, those tactics are simply fool's gold intended to make them millions of dollars while you indulge fantasies that will never make you anything except broke. So let's talk about how to actually become a millionaire, because I believe everybody can become a millionaire and have financial freedom despite all the lies that you've been told. So if you want to take total control over your life, I'll show you the very real way to get there. Just make sure you're subscribed, because they don't want you to know this information and I want you to be completely free from all this mess. So the first step, spend far less than you make. There's really two ways to do this. The first one is to cut expenses, and you guys, I got plenty of videos on that. I'll try to put one up here for you guys, but you can go to my channel and check. I got plenty of videos on that, tons of great videos out there, all kinds of different ways to cut expenses, save money on the money that you bring in. And the second way, and the one that most people completely skip over and don't do, and that is bring in more income. Guys, and here's the facts behind that. This is the reason why I say that. I don't know a single millionaire that just works 40 hours a week, much less 4 hours a week or anything else like that. They work a lot more than that in order to build up that million. Now, sure, once they get there, once they get other things going and you build those asset bases, we'll talk about that here in a minute, then they start paying you and you don't have to work as much as you had to initially to get this started. I don't know anybody that just goes in, does the minimum work in order to be considered full-time, and then becomes a millionaire. I just don't know anybody that's done it that way. Number two, pay yourself first consistently. One of the easiest things to do is, before you even start paying bills or do anything else, allocate money to go towards investments, those retirement accounts, all the other things before you have that money sitting there, because it's awful tempting when you have it sitting there to go, oh, well, this month, instead of putting that money over their stock market's doing bad right now anyways, I'm going to put that money over here towards this, shiny object that I want over here instead. That is a surefire way to never become a millionaire. Instead, make it automatic. Pay yourself first and do it consistently. Paycheck in, paycheck out, month in, month out, year in and year out. Do that consistently and see how quickly your wealth builds and how quickly you get to that millionaire status. Number three, learn high value skills. Bottom line with this one is, the more high value skills you have, the more money you can make. Meaning, if you have a high value skill, you can make more money. Your side hustles can make more money. It's just a way to bring in more money overall. And think beyond your job. Better investing means more money made. Improving those investing skills, which is a very high level skill, a very high value skill, that makes you more money in the long run. Learning how to get better at a game, or knowing every stat of your favorite team, or knowing every detail about a particular TV show, movie series, whatever the case is not a high value skill. Unless you're going to turn that into a business of some sort, which then you need the high value skill of understanding how to run and own and expand a business. Might very well be true. But unless you're going to do that, you need to do things like learning how to invest in stocks. That's a high value skill. Learning how to invest in real estate. That's a high value skill. Learning how to start companies and expand the profitability model and everything else and grow it. That is a high value skill. Learning a high value skill is the best way to supercharge your journey to becoming a millionaire. Number four, be different than everyone else. I hate to tell you this, but if you look like the 99%, you're probably not going to be a millionaire, since the 99% are not actual millionaires. You have to be different than everyone else. You have to be okay with people judging you, with people caring about what you wear, meaning you don't care about what they think about what you wear. You've got to get over those fears. Those, wanting to be like everybody else, wanting to fit in, wanting to not have your family judge you for starting a business or changing career fields or investing in these risky investments that aren't actually risky, but they're only risky to those who haven't gone out there and learned the high value skill of actually investing in those. They don't realize they're actually taking on the most risk. But if you can't get over, even with that knowledge, even with that skill, if you can't get over the fact that you're going to be different than everyone else, then you're going to never actually take the steps to do that and become a millionaire. You have to be different than everyone else. Number five, buy assets only. There's a lot more nuance to this discussion, but just to keep it simple here, an asset to me is anything that pays you for owning it. Or if you have to pay money every single month in order to own something, it is not an asset. I'm sorry guys, that's just the way I view assets in the end. When you're looking at that new house or you want to make a move, the immediate thought should come to your mind, how do I turn this not just into a real estate asset, but into a cash flowing asset that pays me instead? It is absolutely possible. I have done it across the country multiple times. It is absolutely, you can do it and have a great place in a great area in a great school district and have a situation where you are getting paid in order to own that house. I'm not paying the mortgage. My tenants are paying that mortgage. I'm not paying those bills. My tenants are paying those bills. I'm not paying for that new roof whenever the houses all eventually need one. My tenants have already put money towards that and I have saved it up so that way I can pay the bill for that roof later on. I'm not paying for anything in regards to those assets because those assets are all paying me. That's why I define assets that way. And by defining them that way, I only look to buy assets only. Number 6, break away from tradition. Look, I know this one's hard because even myself, we grew up, hey, work hard, save your money, buy a house, 2 cars, 2 kids, best neighborhood you can, all these other traditional things. And don't worry, when you turn 65, you can retire and take Social Security and all this sort of stuff. What we're finding out is that's complete BS. That tradition, that way of life, that American dream per se that's put out there actually isn't coming true for the vast majority of the Americans. And obviously the numbers are bearing out the same exact thing. We are not seeing these mass retirements. You're seeing semi-retirements. You're seeing older folks who are kind of retiring but still having to work. That's the reason why so many of the retail jobs are being taken up by older folks. Those of you guys in your 30s, maybe my age, maybe in your 50s or so, take heed. That is the reality of what is happening out there right now. So if you think you're going to continue right along with a traditional way for the next 10 years, the next 20 years, whatever the case is, unless you have a great pension or something like that, it's not going to happen for you. You're not going to achieve that millionaire status unless you break away from that tradition and do something completely different, which that's exactly what this channel is all about, is that alternative to that traditional way of doing things. And I got some big things coming your way about that in the future, so stay tuned for that. And number 7, put in the work. Like we discussed before, nothing's going to happen if you don't put in a lot of hard work, but the vast majority of people don't want to do that. That's the reason why get-rich-quick scams are so prevalent nowadays and still being perpetrated this day, despite the fact you're not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes, right? I mean, it's not like we don't know these things exist, and it's not like we don't know that if it's super easy, requires no effort, and it happens really, really fast, and magically you just do this one little thing and you'll become a millionaire. We all know that's a total scam, but yet people routinely choose that over putting in the hard work. If it requires no work and happens fast, it's a scam. Easy. That's not even debatable at this stage. There's no reason to even entertain the thought because those guys are really, really good marketers and they're really, really slick. Don't be afraid to put in work for years to achieve your goals. And let's do this exercise right here real fast. Think about yourself 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, think about yourself, where you were at, your situation, all that sort of stuff. Now, if you took just the 7 things we talked about today, applied them to yourself back then, where would you be right now today? If you took hold of them and you took them to heart and you did all of them as hard and as you worked as hard as you could on all of them back 5 years ago, where would you be today? Some of you guys would be at that millionaire status or maybe even multi-millionaire status. Some of you guys may not be there, but I guarantee you, you are much further on that journey than you are right now today. So sure, you may not be a millionaire, but boy, being halfway there is a heck of a lot better than most people's situation out there. So don't wait and don't waste another 5 years. Do these right now today. The good news is this channel is about alternative routes to achieving that financial freedom. They want you working forever, guys. That's the honest truth. And I want you to be completely free from all this mess. And I know it's probably blacklisted by society, but it's the truth. And that's what this channel is all about. So make sure you're subscribed because they don't want you to know any of this information. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.